I'll make a separate video shows you just how you generate the underworlds with this tool. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue playing Rojo. I'm level 2 now, which is nice, and a lot of the bookkeeping can be done right here in Excel. I still have 3 glory pips, and I have 4 hit points. I didn't improve that when I went up to level 2. I could have invested some of my ill-gotten gain in improving my glory pips and hit points. And in order to really run this as a campaign, a series of dungeons, you would probably need to come up with some sort of Sears catalog where some great and omnipotent demigod will trade worthless magic items for better magic items. And well, worthless to you because you already have talents in it. And also, if you you can build your magic items. If you find one sword and you find a second sword, you could take them to the magical smith. He'll combine the powers of the 2 swords into one sword, so that you have only one sword to fight with. And all of that is just the aesthetics of the Gygax system of how you game. And your group will vary in different, or even your own mind, your concept of it. But to me, you know, if you have a hat and a helm, you don't wear both. You got the helm that's magical, or you got a hat that's magical. But again, I'll go into some of the details in another video on that. I'm going to just continue to play as at 2. So what would I do? I would want a new dungeon. Now I'm going to click this, and it's going to, you can see it sort of generating. Everything is very slow because of the way I code. You know, don't hold that against me. And I'm gonna generate a low level of few talents. I'm level 2. I could put a low level, but I'm talented. But there's 64, 63, 63 or 64. My math is starting to lose me in this old age. Different talents that I can pick from. There's no degree of the talent. I don't get like +2 in Cunning Act. I just pick the talent of Cunning Act. And for me playing solo, my rolls are 7s. If I can roll a 7, then I'm successful. If I don't have a talent, I need to roll 4 better than that, and that would be a 7 and become an 11. An 11 I can make about 1/3 of the time. And as long as I don't lose a whole lot of hit points from what I'm doing, or as long as I don't create a situation where everything is impassable. But the beauty of this, again, is the fact that I'm challenging what's going on. Few, low level. Now, I don't have to reboot this and grab a new dungeon, but I will anyway. In fact, I'm going to grab several of them here just to show you that, again, dungeon puzzle. If I come into the underworld, I know in this one I would have to open this door. If I find, or I can move diagonal, I can move right to this mystery position. Now, mystery positions are usually, could have magic that I could collect from them, but they also would have some sort of a test. And of course, the bombs, just as implied, that's something that's just going to get in your way. You probably don't want. You could argue, if you want to give yourself an easier time, that I can move from this space to this space without activating the bomb. The bomb is particularly affecting the transfer. Like this one is a good example. The bomb is stopping me from moving from where I might be to the southwest. But in my case, I would probably not throw away a hazard, caution to win. Instead, I would have to resolve it, take my lumps from it, and I can always leave at any time. Classic dungeon. And most of the time, if you had invested, you know, hours as a dungeon master to create a 12 by 12 room matrix that has some sort of order to it, you don't want the players to leave it. You want them to come back repeatedly. But here, you know, I could just click again, and suddenly I've got a whole nother dungeon to go through. Here, the inn here is would be the door, and I'm looking for the gold. I can either get to the flag if there's a nice easy route for me to do that, or I can get to the book, and the book will give me an option to go directly to the flag. The monsters here, until I face the first, you know, bull symbol monster, I won't know what they are. This one looks fine. I'll try it. There's a series of doors here. Eventually, I don't want to go through that trap, and there's nothing over there that I particularly want to get to. The gold here is nice, but it's hard to get to. I would probably have to get through this door and get through this a bomb, a skill test, to get to here, and then I'm closer to the gold without having to go through the monsters and the randomness of that invader. And so I would move probably to this space, and I would try to attempt the door. And this door is at 2G. Now I can look down here and say, well, where's 2G? I'm really not cheating here because there's too much information for me to absorb. It says open a door or gate with cleverly Open a door or gate with cleverly 7-5, the thief ability. Now I don't have the thief ability, but if I fail this roll, and because I do not have the talent, I need an 11. If I fail this roll, this door is going to be impassable to me, and I failed it. And I just here I'm keeping track of the total number of dice rolls I roll in the underworld, because at times when I click this, I'm not sure when you roll a 9, you roll a 9 again. Did you actually click the dice? So I added that to just tell me. And no, this is now impassable. So, I'm going to put an X here that says I can't go that way. And so I'm going to have to go directly from the in spot to this monster. And I'll try it because I'm healthy. I only have 4 hit points, but I have a full set of talents, and many of them are combat talents. And I can try to avoid that intruder. There may even be a battle between these two. If you were refereeing this, if you were the dungeon master on this, you would look at the two different positions of 2i and 3i and see how copacetic the two monsters would be in that close proximity. The monsters can also move, again, at your delight, or you can say they're bounded to the space they're in a board game, war game sort of sense. And I go to that monster at 2i and I look it up, and at 2i, it's a fight a mob that's immune to 1-3. It's immune to the talent of charismatic lunges, so that's one of the physical attack. It's also immune to uncontested dagger thrusts. Now, I don't have either of those, so that's fine. I use a cunning act or heroic slash, and either one of those will kill the monster on a roll of a 7. Now, if I did not have any physical abilities, I could choose cunning act and try to roll it as if I don't have the talent. Playing solo again, my rolls are 7. If I played with a group of 3, the rolls would probably increase to 8 or 9. And I go to fight this. And how many are there? There's only one. And what is the monster? The mob threat. At the end of the round, I receive 1 point of elemental damage on one of the party's members of choice. Well, it would be me. But I can dispel that if I have the talent of 3-2. And I do have that. Now, the dispel talent costs me a glory pip of mana. So if I do fail my roll here and take this 1 point of elemental damage, one of my 4 hit points, I can dispel that if I make a second roll. And you would roll as many talents as you have. But I think I'm going to end up killing this thing pretty easily. Plus 1 point of horrible damage. Now that's a little bit tougher. I would need Battle Cry to ignore that, and I don't have that, so that would take me 11. So if I fail my rolls here and fail to kill this, what am I killing? I'm killing an animal cult, a group that worships icons of monsters. The members often change into animals or monsters by magic. Snake cults are the most prominent. So I'm facing a group of cultists that turn into a snake, and I need to deliver 1 damage to them. Each such evil group will have a few really big constrictors or arm themselves with handheld vipers. So maybe I'm fighting 1 big snake. At the very least, the party requires 3-2 dispel. Little asterisk means I need to before any monsters are harmed. So there's a caveat here. Before I can even try all my attacks to kill the monsters, and of course if I went to a level high and supreme type of underworld, I'll demonstrate that in a separate video, you'll get more deadlier monsters for the higher level characters. But I'm just, low level and few of me in the party. But I would first roll a 3-2 dispel before any monsters can be harmed. Now I do have the dispel option, so I would expend a glory pip, and I would go to 2 of 3. And then after I do that, I would roll, and I need a 7. And I made my 7. And so when I make my 7, they don't actually, let me put that back in the chat here so that we can see it. And I have kept the animal cult. At the very least, the party requires 3-2. So maybe I dispelled with the minor cult the magic they were trying to conjure. And then I could collect 1 silver mana stone from the dead. It's 1/10 of a golden stone if I defeat this. It all adds up. And but now I need to defeat that. I have to defeat 1. I can't use charismatic lunge, and I can't use uncontested dagger thrust, but I got a cunning act. So with my cunning act, what am I armed with? Maybe I got a flail. My cunning act is I'll come up behind it and bash it. Really cunning. Here comes, I need a 7, and I made it. Now if I had failed that roll, I could have tried my heroic slash. Maybe I would pull out my battle axe, or I could just obliterate the one with lightning, but lightning cost me a glory pip. Now if I rolled here a 6 instead of an 8, to kill the beast, I could have thrown a glory pip in that and made that go up by 1. Now I have won this battle, and all really I picked up was a single silver, because I don't think they had any appreciable magic that they also were guarding. I go to the bottom of my nope. All it says is that to collect 1 silver mana stone, 1/10 of a golden stone. Now, if I can get 10 silver stones, that'll be the equivalent of 1 mana stone. And if I can get the equivalent of 3 mana stones, or no, is it 2 mana stones, I can go from level 2 to level 3 and gain more talents or invest in more hit points. Now, I'm here. I can go to here, and I can go to here and try to get through the door and avoid this. Now, some referees would say, no, you can't avoid that. That's going to fill into wherever it can get to. It's being stopped by the doors, and I just eliminated its only threat. But I'm going to go ahead and look at this door here, and that door is at 4I, and at 4I, I have opened a door with Kismet 9-1 Flattery, but failed deactivates 1 magic item. Now that's an ugly door. If I try to get that door like that, I could possibly lose my wand that of curses, and I don't want to lose that. So maybe I'll go up here and I'll come over to this door, and let's see what 3I is. Again, it's a big puzzle. You're making choices here as you find it. Some of these, like encountering that monster, that animal cult, and the animal cult's going to be here, and the animal cult's going to be at the final if I go if I get all that far. Probably at level 2 I won't. Let me see what this door is at 3H. At 3H it says I'm going to open a door with Onslaught, 3/5 Battle Cry. Man, I've seen a lot of Battle Cries in the last 2 levels. Nullify Horrible Pain of 1 HP the entire party if I fail that roll. That means I could roll it repeatedly. I'm just taking damage. Now, a Battle Cry for me is going to be an 11 because I do not have the skill. See if I can roll an 11 and open that door. If I don't, I take a point of horrible damage. Lucky me. That door is now open. And so I move through the open door past what this is. I'm not going to take a peek at it. Now I'm right here. Now, maybe I should put a little icon there. Now I can go through a series of doors to my death and gain nothing. Eventually I can make my way all the way over here. If I'm very high level, I might make it. But let me instead just go south. I'm trying to get at least 1 tally of gold here, if not get to the end game. And so when I move to here, it's 4H. And at 4H, the monster starts to get more difficult. Is that 4? Is that 4? And is that 4G? 4G. Old minds. I'm going to face traps or obstacles with extra ramification. First and last danger. There can be up to 9 dangers in this if you have a very powerful group. Each player performs 7/5. There's that thief again. Man, this underworld has a theme. Thief, and he will, or he will suffer half a D8 damage from some creepy crawly surprising you out of a secret compartment. So as I try to come through here, there's a creepy crawler that's going to come out of a compartment. I need to know that by being a good thief. I'm not a good thief. I'm going to need an 11 on 2 dice, or I'm going to take a, what did it say, half D8 damage? 15. Great roll. I'm moving right along. I come to here, styling. I come to here, styling. I know this door here was at 4I. From the other direction, I don't necessarily need to open from this direction, but that was the door that required flattery, or it would deactivate a magic item in the tent. Here's the next one that I need to do. It's 5J. Boy, this font has an I and a J that look a lot alike. 5J. And at 5J, I need to open a door with the talent of Acumen 6-1 Bravery, but fail, loses this talent for the rest of the adventure. Well, I don't have it anyway. So this is telling me that with perseverance, I'm going to eventually open that door because I need the Acumen 6-1. I don't have it. I don't have any Acumen talents in my repertoire right now, but I can roll repeatedly on that door because I'm not going to suffer from it. For this is the point where the guys are getting out with the sledgehammer and they're just going to break it down to get to that goal. And a 9. 9's not 11. A 8's not 11. Do I want to dump a glory pip in it? No, because there's no downside for me to beat on this. Now, some of these doors will say that if you try to open them and fail, they become impassable. But this one is just, get this door open. We are at 5J. 5J says open a door with Acumen, but fail that bravery test, and you'll lose the talent for the rest of the adventure. I don't have that bravery. I eventually rolled that 12, and so this is now open then. Because I'm brave on the, what is it, 9th attempt? No, I had some other attempts in here. And then I get into the gold, and that's, the purpose of play. And as a war gamer or a power gamer, I tried to figure out the pattern. I would get to this spot here, and then eventually I'm going to take the gold. And when I grab the gold at 5K, at 5K I grab a treasure. It's a crossbow, bedazzled with gems. And the reason why they each have sort of descriptors for them is that I might later on in my life develop an ability where I cannot keep magic items if they're bedazzled in gems. So I need to get to the smithy and change this in an ordinary one. But it has a ranged strike. It's sort of an ordinary magic item. A crossbow bedazzled in gems imparting the talent of 1/4 ranged strike. I'm going to just add that to my repertoire. Just like typical Gygax style gaming, if I were to die, my friends would be dividing up all my loot. And I anticipate that if you played this with a group of 3 or 4, each person would try to be specializing. I'm now looking more and more like I'm the crossbow slashing guy, and I can either say that my crossbow's got a big blade on the front of it now, or I can just pull my cutlass and fight after I use that crossbow. But I don't have in my repertoire a ranged talent. But now that I picked up a crossbow with a ranged talent, that's a talent as I go up in level I won't necessarily need to use. I can just carry my crossbow around. But I can also exchange the crossbow with that one talent if I had, and I do, I have a wand which imparts the talent of 2/7 curses. If I leave the underworld now, I have met my grandfather of the Delver's requirement that I find at least one spot of treasure, and I have 2 magic items. I can leave the underworld now, and by turning in my crossbow, turning in my wand, I would advance to level 3 and be able to face more and more. And I might take my next underworld as low and talented, or this is where we get to the point, should I push my luck? Well, I could try to push my luck and try to dig around this door, but the door, it looks like that dig spot. If it was here, I could probably get past it, but it's here. And so I would still have to face the door. Now this is open. If I go through here, this trap, I can get to here, and it's smooth sailing all the way to the climax. I should probably try to push my luck. If you're with me still, you're probably another 10 minutes, you wouldn't mind it. Let's see. Now by opening this door, I still have to go through this trap. Let me look at that door. It is at 6K, and the door at 6K tells me that the door opens with Kismet 9/1 flattery. I have 9/2 a wit, but I don't have 9/1 flattery. So it would be a roll of 11, but fail deactivates a magic item. No, I don't want any part of that, because I don't want to try to roll an 11 to deactivate a magic item. I'll go back to the open door. I'll come over to this trap here. It's at 7H. I could leave at any time now that I've at least found one magic item to justify my existence. And if I wanted to, I could sort of grab the next map, go to find one magic item, and slowly but surely grind my way out in a safer game. But let's take a look and see if we can press our luck here. And if you're in a group, it's not going to take just 1 or 2 magic items to go up a level. Every person in the group. Plus, you're sacrificing things that my wand and my crossbow, I don't necessarily want to give them up. I'd rather give up magic items that either I duplicate or that are crappy. Again, Gygax system. I'm sure we've always we started playing back in high school, and we'd have 3 magic swords on our belt, and we'd be wearing 7 magic hats. Before I started the battle, I took off this hat and I put on this hat. Yeah, whatever. Okay, we're at this. It depends on the referee in the group play whether that's allowed. For me, my old age, nope. You're wearing the one hat. The other hat would get jealous, especially with magic involved. And we have a 7H. It's that ring that doesn't want the other magic around it. 7H. At 7H, we have face traps or obstacles with extra ramifications. The first and last danger. Each player performs 6/3 virtuoso, or he suffers half a D8 damage from a twisted test. Now, I don't have 6/3 virtuoso. Eventually, if I go up enough levels, I might have them all. But I would need a roll of an 11. If I miss it, I take a half D8 damage. I'm at full strength, and if I get through this door, the pathway to the finals is there. I think I got to push it. Okay, I need an 11. Look at that. Luck is with me. When you demonstrate a game, yeah, I found that if you play a game with somebody and they do really well, like if they win it, whether it be a board game or a card game or even a role-play venture, if the first group of players to play the game, they've never played it before, if they win, they'll tend to buy it. Well, this is free, by the way, when you want to pick it up at spacegamer site when it's up there. It's still in beta. I'm still testing it. I'm going to go all the way to the flag here by marching down. Do I need to open that door first? Wow, if I can open that door first, it's more magic, it's more gold. Ugh, let's take a look at that gold. It's 11. Am I getting greedy? Why not? 11, 11I. Now, I could argue as a referee that, nope, the monsters at the flag can see you here messing with this door. But we'll say, oh, but no, that's a mile away. No, it's not a mile away. It's probably 50 feet. It's Gygax scale, not Delver scale. But that door at H11, 11H, 11H, let's see if I get lucky. That door opens with an onslaught 3-4 dodge. Do I have the 3-4 dodge? I do have the 3-4 dodge. Avoid gut-spilling damage, so the door is trapped, but if I make a 7, I can avoid a point of trap damage. I'm still healthy. I haven't taken any losses yet. On a 7, I can open that door and get to gold. Of course I'm going to try that. Well, guess what? That's what glory pips are all about. So I'm going to put 1 glory pip into that because I don't need to take a point of trap damage, HP loss. I could put a -1 trap damage in here. And I will use the glory point. This is now open. And do I have any other way? If I had multiple ways of doing the dodge, for instance, if I had a sword that gave me the talent of dodge, I could roll once for my own talents of my character and once for the sword I contain, but I don't have a sword like that. Now I come to here and I take the gold, right? What happened? Did I cheat? Oh, there it is. Okay. Disappeared for a moment. Stop that. That's my gold. And what is the gold at 11G? Sometimes these are trapped. Most of the times they're not. 11G. 11G, treasure. It's snuff. It's single use, allowing once per adventure take the better of 2 rolls in talent nurse. Well, that is basically crud. That is just, what is the referee thinking giving me crap like that? No, I'm not a person that complains about the treasure. I am. And so snuff, single use, allowing once per adventure, take the better of 2 rolls and talent of 4-1 nurse. Now, 4-1 nurse is not a bad thing. If I was playing a larger group, that actually could be pretty good because a nurse 4-1 is the ability to heal damage back that's broken and eviscerate type of damage. But I would hold on that. Again, if I had some sort of Sears catalog, I could sell that and maybe trade it for a different type of snuff, one that can instantaneously heal. It depends on the referee you're playing with. It depends on how much you want to handicap yourself. Otherwise, it could be. And because it's a limited use magic item, I can't sell it to the grandfather to buy my next level. And but snuff is snuff. And you can also play this where you have to get your first magic pick. Has to go to the grandfather because he's the one that tells you about this underworld and sends you on the quest. But I come back here and I'm going to try the quest here. I'm full hit. I only got 1 glory pip, but on level 2, I got full hit points, and I got lots of ways to kill, including a magical attack I could use with my final glory pip to waste all the monsters in the area. It all depends on the flares at the end here. And this is 12I. Now at 12I, the goal, the climax of the dungeon, dispense and disperse some intervening minions or obstructions with at least 1 success by the party of 1-3, a charismatic lunge. I do not have a charismatic lunge. That would be a nice one to get, but I was hoping to maybe get it with a weapon that I pick up rather than wasting a talent. Before engaging the boss of the monster, any delay causes a half D8 HP losses. So I'm going to make a roll of charismatic lunge. Do I want to? Well, half D8, I could suffer it no matter what. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I do not have the talent of a charismatic lunge. On a roll of 11, I defeat the minor minions that are guarding the boss. If I fail, I take a half D8 hit points. 14. Well, the odds are ever in my favor here. And I have defeated the minions. Then I go to the next part of that goal, and it says, I can even come up here and edit it, because, you know, this stuff will run its own stuff. Before engaging the boss monster, any delay causes damage. There you go. We come. That's then again the beauty of playing in an Excel spreadsheet is that I can just go ahead and make changes to this stuff, and as I make changes to it, I can I can always generate new, or I can keep track of all of my accounting in here. To win, defeat the dungeon boss. Fight 3 mobs, 3 this time, immune to charismatic lunge and uncontested dagger thrust. We've seen that before because some mobs repeat. The mob threat at the end of the round, 1 point of elemental damage on one character of the party's choice. Safeguard with Dispel. I do have Dispel, but I only have 1 Glory Pip yet left. Plus 1 horrible damage. Safeguard with, and this is again that animal cult. Oh yeah, the reason why this sounds familiar is because at the start here we faced the animal cult, and now we're facing the boss of the animal cult. Boy, it's tough to get old. Okay, but then that's the fun of it all, because I'm doing a good dungeon crawl here. I'm reliving like my high school experiences because I forget what it's like to enter an underworld, to move magically through several doors, to get past traps, to eventually face the boss of the animal cult. Are you with me, brothers? And to win, defeat the boss battle, fight 3 mobs. Now, the best way for me to fight 3 mobs, because I don't want them alive when they retaliate and do damage back, would be for me to use either my Wand of Curses, which takes a single Glory Pip, or my Lightning Strike. Now, I have the talent of Lightning Strike. I can go ahead and use my Lightning Strike and kill them all. But I also have several attack modes here. I have a ranged attack with a crossbow, a cunning act with my talents, and a heroic slash. And I'm going to go right down the line and not use my Glory Pip if I don't have to. So let me do a cunning act. And because I have the talent, it's only a 7. One of them is dead of the 3. Now, I do a heroic slash. I need a 7, but I failed. And then I go on to my crossbow, bedazzled with gems, imparting the talent of ranged attack. Now, I can't do multiple ranged attacks unless I have both the talent as part of my character and multiple weapons. But then it gets again into that idea of the referee saying, well, how are you going to fire 3 different magic bows before they're going to be on you? Maybe just 1. Well, here's my magic bow. Could he argue that you could fire your magic bow and then drop the magic bow and go to my sword, my not magic sword, but my cunning act and heroic slash? That's probably realistic. Although I did mess with this door first, and they may be alert to that. No, I'm going to cut myself some slack here playing solo. It's like cheating at solitaire. No, it's just adventure games are complicated. You always have to arbitrate the rules. And so here comes my 7 with my crossbow. Nope, I failed again. So I only killed 1 of the 3 with my physical actions. So I have to resort either to my lightning or my wand. And I only have 1 Glory Pip to energize the 2. If I fail this, they're going to take my action. They're going to take their action, and I'm going to take a point of elemental damage, and I'm also going to, but I could dispel it if I had more Glory Pips, but I don't, plus 1 point of horrible pain, so 2 points of damage at a 4, but then it becomes my turn again. I don't have the battle cry to safeguard from the pain. So I am going to use my last Glory Pip. I am now 0 of 3. My mana is exhausted, and I'm going to use my personal lightning. I need a 7, an 8. So I have defeated this monster. So by defeating this monster, defeating the boss of the animal cult, that's probably why I was sent in here. Go forth and defeat an animal cult. And I've read this all before to you, but I want to go down, 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 down. Win. Win and collect. Win and collect a prize. Buckle shoes of unknown origin, granting +1 in the talent of monkey dust, but forcing 2 rolls take the lower of better valor. Well, it's sort of a mixed magic item. What did you expect? But in the in the climax victory, you gain 1 golden mana stone, and I can use that 1 golden mana stone. 1 golden mana stone. Hearing people type and dictate is high art on the internet. I have a wand. I have the crossbow that I grabbed before. I have that snuff that I picked up. And now I also have these buckle shoes that allow me to do the talent 3/7 of monkey dust, which is another magical attack, I believe. No, 3/7, it's a magical defense. It defends against, I think, decay damage. I can monkey dust it away. But it has it. If I carry this on me, it forces me to take 2 rolls and take the lower whenever I use Better Valor. Now I don't have that talent, but even if I have to roll an 11 of Better Valor, I don't want to have to roll twice 11s in a row. So that buckle shoes would probably be one I would sacrifice along with my golden mana stone to get the 2 increments to go to level 3, and that's how this would be run. That was a long video. If you stayed with me, you know, you probably are a diehard. But this again, this is fun for the wargamer and me just to figure out my way across that, and for the power gamer and me to see the magic items I'm slowly accumulating. And if I were to, you know, decide the next underworld is low level, but I'm talented, I would just generate a new underworld for that. And here it is. I would enter here. Immediately I'm going to be facing monsters. What is the monsters at 2C, just out of curiosity? It's going to be a different monster than I fought before. And this one is fight 1 mob. This one's immune to cunning act and heroic slashes. Wow. Those are my 2 first talents that I chose, so that's really sad. And the monster itself is some sort of egg layer, an insect that has a short life and seeks excrement or dead bodies. If you click on the wrong thing on in Excel, oh, I lost my whole underworld. No, I now want to see. I'm back over here. And seeks excrement and dead bodies. And it, at the very least, the party requires a successful roll of 4-2 soothe. I don't have that before any of the monsters can be harmed. Would I go up a level, see the next level of the underworld, next dungeon I'm entering, and then decide what talents I'm picking? No. You would pick your talents honestly based on whether or not you're developing your character to be more thievish and craftic, or more boldly fighter, or, you know, the cleric of the healer, you know, Gygax rolls. And so I'm going to call it quits there. I actually had some fun with this. This is not a bad solo experience. The fact that, you know, there's enough icons that I can see where I'm going, yet each one I have to figure out if it's worth my time by getting there. More later.